Yeah, so today we are going to talk about Casper.click, which we opened earlier this week for early developer preview, and I will tell you more about what it is, and encourage you to start using it today. So, at first we will talk about why Casper.click, why we developed it. I'll tell about the integration process, how to integrate it. I'll show you a little demo, and I'll also show you a real case use study from a real application. It's a game called the Beast League. So, why Casper.click? So, when onboarding to blockchain, users challenge multiple problems. Like, first of all, they need to understand the concept of web wallet, and they need to install those web extensions and different applications use different wallets. On Casper, we have how many? Like 5 available wallets. And imagine being a user on Casper. In one application, you use Casper Wallet, in another one, you use Casper Dash, another one uses Ledger. So it's a nightmare. Second, you need to understand public-private key cryptography like a little bit to understand what you're doing, how you manage your keys. And those two kind of are prerequisites for the inconvenient user experience. And confusing. For developers, well, there are multiple wallets to integrate with. They have different APIs, they implement some things differently. Well, that's a challenging effort. And it's hard for developers to implement a convenient onboarding experience for their users. So basically, to start with an application, decentralized application built on top of blockchain, users face already like challenges related just to blockchain wallet existence. So, what is Casper.click? So, Casper.click is aimed to solve those two problems for developers and users. And first of all, it provides a single sign-on-like solution users already familiar with from Web2. It provides uniform UI for account management. For developers, it's a single integration point with multiple web wallets and also fiat and RAMs. And on top of that, for developers and actually for users, Casper.click will provide like cross promotion in the Casper ecosystem. It's like one of the problems we also face as the ecosystem is discoverability. Right? So there is like no Google or App Store for blockchain. So we opened Casper.click earlier this week for early developer preview. And well, to get started, you need to execute just one command line if you are a React developer, and it will create a new application from our React template. So I would need help from Maciej to hold my microphone, and I'll just demonstrate it for you. Okay? Can you hear me? Well, okay, let's switch from the presentation to... So yeah, let's execute that one line. So I'm connected to my LTE from my phone, so hopefully it will be just 1 minute. However, well, let's see how it goes. So Casper.click is actually a set of libraries, and it has Web SDK that allows you to build, basically use abstractions and like technical interfaces to integrate with wallets and on-ramps, and you can build your own custom UI on top of that. It has a React library. It's a library of React components that provides ready-to-use components you can use in your application. And for React developers, we made it even easier. So, and what I'm using right now is a React template. So, I know, so it goes much slower on LTE. So let's keep it in styling. But at home, I promise you, it runs less than 1 minute. It's basically just installing npm packages here. So yeah, here you see I created yesterday a backup Casper app, and all I need to do here, just like run npm start. And let's see. Whoa. It's a ready React application with integration with all blockchain wallets and Casper ecosystem. So let me walk you through what we have here. So you guys probably recognize this panel from we have in all our applications, and you can use it you can change it. It's customizable, but for this panel, if you use it, it has like some standard components. One is cross-promotion menu, and if you develop a really nice application to cross-promote it, we will do it in Casper.click and other products whenever it fits. So yeah, it has possibility to include custom banners. Here's an example. It displays like go to Casper.click docs, but it could be like your custom announcement out of the box if you need. And look, if you go to here, it's like for all events. For example, I change currency now to euro. So there are events you can subscribe and react in your application. You can change between mainnet, testnet. You can change language, corresponding messages will appear right here. And there is so-called account menu. So let's click sign in. So first of all, you see integration with like 5 wallets on the Casper ecosystem. And you get it with only one click. Right? It's like you didn't need to. You don't need to know the API how those wallets operate. Let's sign in. So once connected, this menu transforms, and those items are customizable. So you can add your custom items. Some will remain there, like sign out. So we need it to sign out. So out of the box, that application has access to your wallet. It can react to, again, if you like go here, you'll see all the messages you can react to. Here is an example. We can create a transaction. So let's buy David a testnet coffee. Yeah, it's testnet. All good. Let's sign. Here we have a link that takes you to Casper.live. We'll open it once it's finalized. So let's reiterate what we just saw. So first of all, you got for users, you got support for all wallets everywhere. So you don't need to install and like worry what application uses what. If you got Casper.click, you have one uniform experience across all applications. And for all applications using Casper.click, you have that nice SSO-like experience. So you didn't, we didn't add it yet in the template, but we also have work in progress for so-called social login. So it basically means you can create a blockchain wallet using a Google login, and it's aimed for users who are new to blockchain, so to make them like nice and user-friendly onboarding experience. In this screenshot, we included it, so you see it right here, right? Basically, any SSO providers could be here. For users, right? So I mentioned it's like single sign-on like experience and like easy way to switch between accounts, and imagine how beautiful it will look with Casper name. So instead of like those like public key hashes, you would see names, and you can like easily switch between accounts without making any mental effort. As I mentioned, it's like uniform experience for account management and basically identity providing experience in the whole ecosystem, and enhance discoverability and navigation between applications. So, and as I mentioned, if you build something nice and great, we'll cross-promote it in our products as well. And it also provides access to future features that are not present yet, but which are on our roadmap, such as notifications, like imagine mobile notifications, browser notifications. It will provide it all by us. No need to implement it. Multi-signature supports, and well, much more to come. We are limited only by our creativity. For developers, so yeah, as I mentioned before, it's one API to integrate all the wallets. It's access to fiat on-ramp. At the moment, we have uphold stopper. If there are more, we will add them.
Ramp network?
Fiat on-ramps.
No, ramp network. Are you going to implement ramp network?
I cannot answer that question. I wish.
NDA.
I wish I was David. He could. He is the guy who is leading the development. I'm merely like talking. So yeah, for developers, you can reach broader audience through cross promotion. and we get like maintenance and future functionality. It's like first like zero effort, or maybe like minimal effort. And first of all, it lets you focus on the product you're working on your like core value of a product. You don't spend time integrating this blockchain, you spend time working on a product. And now I can confirm it like from my own experience because we helped other applications to integrate with Casper. And gosh, you just spent so much time to integrate, much more time than like building some business logic. Oh, it's going to change. It's already changing. So as I just demonstrated to you, it's open to customization. So you always like styling with themes, and you saw it was basically like several variables, and well, we changed it to green, like in holistic, in one holistic switch. Menu items configurable, placements of numbers is fixed, but you can change them. Like list of currencies, languages, like whatever you support, you can disable them at all, right? So you don't have like different languages yet, just like disable it. But once you add it, it will be at the same place where the users expect it. So they will not need to learn how to use the interface. And the cross-promotion menu is also customizable. And if you want to go with your own UI, as I already mentioned, you can just use raw Casper.click web SDK, which provides technical abstractions, APIs to the wallets and fiat on-ramps, and use it. So it's open to other stacks. So far I mentioned it works for JavaScript, for React. Here's an example actually from Casper Studio, and it's a .NET Blazor application. So not like pure JavaScript, not pure React, and you can still, if you go to Casper Studio, Casper.studio, you will see Casper.click there. So what we have here, we import CSS, we import Web SDK JavaScript, and you add two div elements from UI components you'll be displaying. We initialize Casper.click, easy. And you see, you can like list all the wallets. Let's say you don't like some wallet, Casper Signer is deprecated, I don't want to list it. You don't list it as provider. And you subscribe to events emitted by Casper.click. That's it. That's basically the integration point between Casper.click and your application. So yeah, open to customization, open to other stacks. So now I want to show you, let me play this video, a real-time case study. It's integration we did for Beast League. It's a AAA game developed by Astronomica. It's a game studio that previously developed games for like dozens of millions of users. It's a competitive like, sport game where you compete with like playing basketball with other players. And they are building their game economy on Casper, on blockchain. And they're using Casper.click. So with Casper.click, they got the fastest onboarding experience. So their users did not know they use blockchain. And that's how it should be, right? Because we often hear about that concept of blockchain games, and which are aimed kind of for like crypto users that like crypto, like games, and there's like some intersection. Here's different. It's a game built on top of blockchain. And end users come for the game. They don't come from blockchain. They come for the values that are provided by blockchain, but they come for the game. So they get onboarding experience easy and familiar with social login. They can just create an account with their Google login. They don't need to know about blockchain wallets. Even the social logins is already self-custodial. It's in full custody of users, even though they don't know about it yet. It's actually fantastic. So it's possible using the MPC technology, which like recently is gaining in the space. Now they got convenient recovery mechanisms like OTP, authenticators, password security questions, etc. So it fully integrates fungible CP18 token. It's like the virtual currency token in game, and it's implemented on top of Casper. And they got uphold stopper on-ramp to top up their accounts. And they can make digital purchases with Casper, Boin, and credit cards. And well, let me show you. Next slide. That's actually the web wallet experience. And you see, when you want to buy a virtual item here, you do not see like any blockchain stuff. Like the only blockchain piece here is probably like you see this Casper account, and it's like really easy way to educate users. You don't need to teach them the whole blockchain, and they buy their items. They have like different ways, and they can pay with credit card. But with Casper, they get. Do you see it here? Like 10% discount. I would go with Casper. Yeah, and for the web wallet, let me show you a little demo. So the Beast League, they already released, soft launched in several markets, and actually the game is like pretty successful. So in those markets, it like came to like top of the charts, like top 10 in like top 5 in the categories, like crazy. By the way, I mentioned in my previous presentation, Michael Story's presentation about mass blockchain adoption, but at the same blockchain hub at the World Economic Forum earlier this year, there was a panel with Renaud from Casper Labs, CEO of Casper Labs, and John from Astronomica, the company that develops the game. So you can check it out. It was like interesting conversation. John is like really passionate about gaming and about the experience, so you understand where it all comes from. So it's a mobile game, and it has an accompanying web application to buy items, and well, you can buy entries to events, tournaments. You can buy items, and as I mentioned before, Boyan token is a CP18 fungible token, Casper Network. Right? So it means like trusted economy, trusted game economy. You see, so those items are CP78 NFTs. Right? So like the whole game economy, they build it on top of blockchain, on top of Casper Network. And the end users don't really know it. Right? So look here. Oh, come on.
Is it on mainnet or testnet?
Obviously mainnet. So, but as I mentioned, it's soft launch only in like several markets so far, and David would tell you better, but I believe it's coming to all markets later this year. So look here, it's like hard to see, but here the address is wallet.casper.click. It is Casper Click's web wallet. And why do you need it? Well, if you created your blockchain account with your Google account, how do you make a transaction if you have no idea what blockchain is? So you need like some application to make that happen. And that application is the web wallet. So the web wallet enables users to buy virtual currency and items. And again, like users like barely know they are using blockchain. Like the only kind of mention of blockchain here would be that like Casper logo. So they can buy with fiat, as I mentioned, with uphold stopper. To do like any action on chain, they would need to unlock their account. And if you guys remember from my previous presentation, that's the mechanic we all need to embrace. Like all the blockchain users should know it, and well, eventually it will become natural for us. So let's show you one more important piece here, which is really interesting, right? Because how do you transition from social login into self-custody? So let me like stop it right here. So you can export your private key, right? So basically users have their own self-custodial private key. They don't know about it, but yeah, when they are educated enough and they can transition to full self-custody, they can export it.